Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This week we are going to make a super easy recipe using polenta, and I'm just going to have a super simple salad to go alongside it since I need some extra veg. As you can probably already hear, I'm feeling under the weather and I need to get some extra veg in me, so I think a nice salad would be good. So this is the kind of polenta that I buy. It's just non-GMO. It comes in this tube and it's really easy to cook up. I think you guys have already seen me make it once, maybe probably with mushrooms, because I do like polenta with mushrooms. I don't know, that combination works really well. Sometimes I'll cut it in medallions like this and then I'll just bake it in the oven and add some seasonings. Other times I'll just put it on a pan with some water and just saute it. And then on this day I decided to cut it up and I just baked it in the oven using some herbs and spices, and it turned out amazing. So polenta is one of those things that I always have a tube of it in my cupboard for those lazy days where I don't want to cook. I have something that's easy, super handy, and still keeps me on the starch solution, because starch solution does allow you to have corn and corn products. So I'm going to have, just my corn and then whatever veg I have that's non-starchy to go with it. So I like having stuff like this on hand because there's always going to be those days where you don't feel like cooking a big meal. This is super easy. I toss it into the oven, season it, and it's good to go. So I just cut it up and toss it into any baking dish. So originally I was just going to make half of my polenta and this dish would be fine for that, but then I decided I wanted leftovers, so I decided to chop up the whole thing. And so I needed a bigger baking dish. So you'll see in a minute I'm going to grab my bigger one, and then I'm just going to add my seasonings to a little bowl and then just drizzle it on top, and that's it. So for the seasoning, I like to add water just so that everything gets coated really nicely on the polenta. And I'll use water if I am pan frying it. I feel like it's not necessary to use oil, so I just use water and it works perfectly. So in this case, instead of using oil to coat all your spices, you're just going to use the water, and it works really well. So I'm just using my staples, which is onion powder and garlic powder. I used black pepper, and if you wanted to, you can put salt on it. Whatever your favorite spices and herbs are, go ahead and add it in. And then an option as well for extra flavor, which I find makes a really big difference with polenta, is adding a little bit of bouillon. So if you have any that's oil-free, go ahead and add that in as well. It's going to add immense flavor and it's going to really up the flavor level of your polenta, and you will definitely taste the difference. If you don't have it, don't stress about it. I would just say add extra spices. So now go ahead and just drizzle that on top, give it a nice mix, and then I preheated my oven on a convection setting for 350, and I baked it for 35 minutes. So if you don't have convection on your oven, that's okay. I would just say cook it maybe another 5 minutes or so just to get it a little bit more crispy. So yeah, I mean, depending on how crispy you want your polenta, you'll have to adjust the temperature and also the amount of time that you have it in, but I thought that at 350, 35 minutes, it was perfect for me. So the two things that I had to use up were tomatoes and my romaine lettuce. That's what I had in the fridge that I really needed to use up. And since I'm not feeling well, I'm really craving a lot of fresh veg. So I'm just going to make a really big salad to go alongside, and that way I'm getting enough greens in me and just some more substance to my meal. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just cutting up my lettuce, and then I'm going to cut up some tomato, and then I have a homemade dressing that I keep in the fridge for these emergency situations where I don't really feel like cooking, but I'm going to throw something together quickly. I have it ready to go. And really, that dressing, I think I've showed you guys many times, but it's just like warm water. I mix my seasonings, garlic powder, onion powder, sometimes paprika, and I'll put Dijon mustard and balsamic, and I just kind of give it a shake in a mason jar, and that's my dressing that I keep in the fridge just in case I need it. So a lot of times my meals basically revolve around things that I need to use up because I don't want to throw them out. So veggies that are in the fridge that really need to be used up, or I'll use a lot of stuff that are in my, pantry. They are my staples, my go-to, so I can create any meal really quickly. That's why I like the polenta, and I always keep at least one on hand because there's going to be days where you're going to be tempted to get takeout all the time. So if you have stuff like this, it will save you because you can still make a really healthy meal really, really quickly and in really very little time. So this is my really, really simple salad. If I had more veggies, obviously I would add more veggies, but this is all I have available to me and what I have to use up. So that's what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be healthy, keep you on your wellness goals, and fill up your belly. And that's basically it. So I'm gonna really enjoy this meal. It's nothing, spectacular, but I really enjoy it. So this is how my polenta turned out. I did just kind of mix it up really quickly once during the cooking process, and that was it. I gave it a light little mix just to get them flipped over. But yeah, 35 minutes, 350 at convection cooking, and this is how it turned out, and I think it turned out perfect. I really, really enjoyed it. Okay guys, so here is my super easy meal. Really didn't take me much effort to create this meal, and I'm going to be full and satisfied eating it. Sometimes I'll actually use the lettuce as lettuce cups and throw the polenta in it, and that's really yummy and tasty as well. But on this day, I just decided to have a traditional salad alongside it. So I hope this gives you some inspiration. If you have those days, we all have those days we don't want to cook, we don't feel like cooking. This is something really easy that anybody can just throw in the oven and off you go. Just keep some extra greens at home. That way you can make a quick salad to go alongside whatever your starch is, and you're good to go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the support, as you already know. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.